Hi everyone. So today I'm gonna talk to you about how much testosterone usage and steroid usage can actually help in gaining much more muscle. Now, thankfully, most people do know that when you take testosterone or steroids, anabolic steroids and PEDs, you gain much more muscle than you would. However, I don't believe that people actually, even those who are in the business, like in the weight training and bodybuilding lifestyle and fitness, they don't actually know how much you can actually gain and how much of an advantage you have when using anabolic steroids and how insane you gain more easily than natty trainers. So I found the study. I actually found it a few years ago. I believed also you can check out Jeff Nippard, who did a video about it. I believe it's on his channel that I found it on one of his videos, and I'm gonna leave the link anyways to it in the description, so you can see it's this one right here. And I'm gonna read not all of it because it's very long. But however, I'm gonna focus on the main points that I want to talk about. So first, they say that they randomly assigned 43 normal men to four groups. So one group with no exercise, another one with testosterone, so you could say steroids, but anyways, testosterone. So yeah, this also shows that TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, kind of is like a kind of using steroids. So it's not natural, especially if you don't have a medical reason for using it, then you wouldn't be considered natural. That's my personal opinion, because also you can abuse it and have overpowered advantage. So anyways, that's for another topic. But anyways, so the second group, as I said, testosterone with no exercise. Then another group with nothing plus exercise. So this would be the natty group. I'm underlining it in blue. And then the last group, the fourth one, testosterone usage, like indosed or how do you say, given testosterone plus exercise. So hope you get the idea for these four groups. And the men who were using given testosterone were given 600 milligrams of testosterone, enanthate or placebo, and the study went on for 10 weeks, so 2.5 months. And keep in mind, by the way, that 600 milligrams of testosterone is quite a bit. It's over the natural amount that a man has naturally, even the maximum known dosage that a man can have naturally. However, the most extreme bodybuilders can even go beyond this per week, beyond 600. Some even go over 1000 to, I believe, 1500 milligrams a week, which is absolutely insane. And anyways, so the results, then they give the results, and you can check that for yourself in details. Uh, so as I said, it was for 10 weeks only, 2.5 months. And I believe that the men who were used for the experiment were non-practicing bodybuilders, because even the natty ones had some pretty good gains that are, I believe, only for noob beginners, total beginners that can gain these kinds of muscle gains, muscle mass gains. So yeah. So this is the graphic that shows how much they gained. And this is what I wanted to show. So here we have the two separate categories of no exercise and exercise. I don't know if you can see well, I'm sorry about this. But anyway, so you have 4 columns. The first one is no exercise men, the men who didn't exercise. The first column is the placebo group, so those who were given nothing and not exercising. And the second group are those who were given testosterone and not exercising. And then the third column is the group, the last 2 groups are those who did exercise, but the first one was given placebo, as you can read in the bottom. And the natty, this is considered like a natty bodybuilder, like training and not using drugs. And the last column are those who were training and using testosterone. So the enhanced athlete, as they call them. So what is important mainly is these 2, or actually the 3 last columns, because you will see that the the second column is the group that used testosterone but didn't exercise, and this is also important and very interesting to learn what was their results. So the first uh, yeah, in the left you have all their gains, like in strength for the different exercises. I don't know if you can see well. If you want more details, you can check out the link for yourself, because as I said, it's a long study. But anyways, what I wanted to focus on was the fat-free mass gain. That is the first category on the top. If you can see well, it's written in 90 degrees inclined, so you can't maybe read it. But anyways, the first category on top is the fat-free mass in kilograms. So basically the muscle gain mass, like the muscle mass gained, pardon me. So what I wanted to show is that, as you can see, the first group is the no exercise natty group. So the natties who didn't exercise, you can see that they gained almost nothing. They did gain a bit of mass, 1 kilogram of mass, and I'm pretty surprised about this. The fact that they are natties and didn't train and gain some muscle, like this is really surprising. I don't know what they were giving them, maybe a high protein diet or something, but I'm really actually surprised that they gained some muscle. I don't know, because they say no exercise, so I really don't understand. Anyways, the second column that you see next to them are the testosterone usage, or men that used testosterone and didn't exercise. And this is the first surprise of or the second surprise of this study. You can see that they gained a lot of muscle, like almost 4 kilograms of muscle. So that's huge. So in pounds, that would be almost like 8 pounds, about 8 pounds of muscle, which is really huge when you know about muscle gains. 8 pounds, especially in a 2.5 months, like only 10 weeks span, then that's pretty huge. And keep in mind, all they had was 600 milligrams of testosterone, and they didn't even train. So I mean, to me, it's still insane. And what is even more insane is, as I continue, the next column to the right, you can see that the group who exercised, the third group who exercised and didn't take testosterone, so the natty group, the natties who did train, you can see that they still gained quite a bit, 2 kilograms or 2 and something kilograms, which is honestly quite good. And as I said, I'm surprised at this amount of gain because I believe only beginners can gain so much as natties. And if you're experienced 5 or 10 years or more natty bodybuilder, you will agree with me that this kind of gain, like 5 pounds almost of muscle gain in 10 weeks, can only be for a beginner natties. So, anyways, you can see that this third group, the natties who trained, gained a lot less than the previous group of testosterone users who didn't even train. So this is a huge information right here because the fitness industry and steroid users and steroid influencers, of course, many of them will not tell you that they use steroids to sell their products and workouts and whatever better. But they will tell you that, oh no, their gains are not due to testosterone. Yeah, their testosterone usage was helpful, but it wasn't all. It was all about the hard work and the blah blah blah. So you can see here that they're lying because the natty group who trained gained like almost half of the steroid users who didn't train. I mean, this is a huge. So the steroid, like, I want you to get this clear in your mind that the guy who didn't train at all and used steroids, and even 600 milligrams of steroids, like some guys that use steroids use a lot more. They use maybe 700, 800, even 1,000, and even 1,200, and even more. So this group who use just 600 milligrams of testosterone a week gained a lot more, almost the double of the natty users. And as I said, those natties are probably beginners, so they won't gain as much if they are experienced natty bodybuilders. So anyways, the steroid users still gained over 2 times, or almost 2 times, sorry, more than natty users. And steroid users who didn't work out, by the way. So yeah, I want you to have this clear in your mind so that nobody fools you and no bullshit comes in your way, because there's a lot of bullshit going on, especially from people I mentioned. And anyway, so the last column is the steroid users, or the steroid users who did train, and obviously their gains are much better than anyone else. As you can see, they gained over 6 kilograms, or about 6 kilograms of muscle in 10 weeks. So in 2.5 months, they gained 6 kilograms, or about 13 pounds of pure muscle. So 3 times more than the natty bodybuilder, and even 2 times more than the steroid users who didn't train. So obviously when you combine steroids and weightlifting, then obviously you gain much more. But you get the point that it's not it's not the workout. I mean, the workout, obviously, as you see, it did help them out. It did help, but it's not just this. I mean, just using steroids by themselves and you're gonna gain more than a nari who trains and has perfect diet, and even a beginner nari gains, as I believe these are beginner nari gains. But still, the steroid users gained much more, because there was, as you see here, the study, 43 men between ages of 10 and 40. So I found also this website from another guy who who mentioned this study and gave the conclusions. So as I mentioned right now. So yeah, to resume, group 1 did not do any form of exercise and did not receive any form of steroids or drugs. So natural guys doing no weight training. And then group 2 did not do any form of exercise, but they received weekly injections of 600 milligrams of testosterone enanthate. Drug users doing no weight training. Group 3 did exercise, but they did not receive any form of steroids or drugs. So natural guys doing weight training. So natties, the group of natties. And group 4 did exercise and they also received weekly injections of 600 milligrams of testosterone enanthate. Drug users doing weight training. So as we saw, they gained the most by a large margin. All of their diets, calorie intake, protein intake, nutrient intake were standardized according to each person's body weight, recorded, verified, and adjusted when needed. The two groups who were weight training, groups 3 and 4, followed the same supervised workouts each week. So nothing was changed between the two. They had the natties and the juice heads had the same workout. Meaning, with the exception of the fact that some groups were or were not weight training and some were or were not using drugs, everything else, diet and training, was equal and even. So this is pretty clear, right? And then, as you see, he makes a resume of the results. So guess what happened? Group 1, no exercise, naturals, experienced no significant changes, no surprise there. Well, actually, I was surprised that they did gain almost 2 pounds of muscle. I don't know how this happened, but anyways. Group 2, no exercise, drug use, and that's the first big surprise. Was able to build about 7 pounds of muscle. That's not a typo. The group receiving testosterone injections and not working out. So this is to really point out the fact that, I mean, it's incredible. They did not work out and gained 7 pounds of muscle. So, I mean, to me, it's still a shock. And then group 3, they exercised and were natural, was able to build about 4 pounds of muscle. So, you see that, and I mean, 4 pounds is like, as I said, for a natty, it's pretty good. It's excellent. This is why I believe, as I mentioned and I say again, that there were newbies. They gained the newbie gains because 4 pounds in 10 weeks, 2.5 months is excellent. And group 4, exercise and drug use, was able to build about 13 pounds of muscle. So that's insane in 10 weeks. So they gained over 1 pound of muscle a week. I mean, this is insane. You can see how much you can gain with steroids. And again, as I mentioned, they use only 600 milligrams. I mean, of course, it's over the natural dosage, the natural hormonal testosterone in men. But keep in mind that professional steroid use, professional bodybuilders, and even many of the influencers that are now on social media, they use even more than 600 milligrams, as I mentioned. They can use 2 times as much, or maybe even more. So, anyways, then he continues. So, what does this study show us? Well, for starters, if you are natural and not doing any form of weight training, your muscle building results will suck. But we all knew that already. Yeah, that's kind of the disappointment as you go along as a natty bodybuilder. This is the constatation that, or the the hard reality that you witness firsthand. Then what he says. Second, the muscle building effects of steroids are pretty effing significant. You don't say. Despite using identical workout routines and diets, the guys who were also receiving testosterone injections gained over 3 times as much muscle as the natural guys in the same period of time. The average difference was 13 pounds gained to just 4 pounds gained. So again, no surprise here, but still it's amazing to see. And so you have an idea that when somebody like a movie star or an athlete or whatever popular figure you see, and they tell you, oh, he gained like 30 pounds in 2 weeks or something like this, then you know that the guy is juiced up. I mean, the guy may be just an actor, he may be just a singer, I don't know whatever he may be. I mean, it's clear that the guy took juice. Okay, if especially, I mean, you can have, for example, like a natural who gains so much, like gain a big amount of weight, but I mean, it's gonna be fat. Like, for example, myself, the maximum I gained was like 25 kilograms in a few months, but like 95% of it was fat. Like, I went from 15 or 14, 13% body fat to like 34%. So if that gain is only muscle and the guy still has abs and has veins popping out of his arms and body, then that is clear, he's clearly on juice. So anyways, he continues and says, and third, here's the most insane part of all. The group getting the testosterone injections and not doing any form of weight training whatsoever still gained significantly, as you see, significantly more muscle than the natural guys who were weight training. The difference was 7 pounds gained to 4 pounds gained. So yeah, this is the really biggest surprise of them all. I mean, the amount of gains gained from testosterone weight trainers is not that big of a surprise, especially for people like me who know about steroids quite a bit. But the big surprise here, and it even surprised me, was that the group who did not work out and use steroids, they gained, not only did they gain a lot of muscle, they gained like almost 2 times as much as the natural weightlifters. Let me repeat that again, just in case it didn't sink in. Guys using drugs and doing nothing. So yeah, that's the conclusion. So guys using drugs and doing nothing, okay, built more muscle than the natural guys, so more muscle than the natties, who were weight training 3 times per week. And I believe their workouts were pretty intense because to gain 4 pounds in 10 weeks for a natty, 4 pounds of muscle, that is a really good achievement. How crazy is that? So, anyways, you can check out, I will leave also the link to this article along with the first one about the study itself. So you can read for yourself if you're interested. But yeah, I hope that this point is clear. So, I mean, for me, it's been for quite a bit of time. But especially if you're new into the industry and weight training and bodybuilding, etc., then I hope that this helped you understand the reality and to not be fooled by the commercial capitalistic companies and sponsored influencers and so-called professionals and anyone else selling any kind of bullshit, because the reality is here. I mean, you saw for yourself what the reality is, so now you're aware, and don't be you cannot be fooled anymore but by those liars. So you know for yourself when you see someone if he's talking bullshit or not. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video and know somebody who would benefit from it, you should share it with him or her. And if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe and check out my other videos. I'm a natty bodybuilder, also coaching others, and I'm here to help. So, oh yeah, by the way, if you have any questions or any suggestions or want to know about a specific topic, then let me know in the comments below and I will be more more than happy to help. So thanks for watching. Have a nice workout and see you next time.